The Word of God says, open quotes, "Lord, you have searched me and known me. You know my sitting down and my rising up. You understand my thought afar off. You comprehend my path and my lying down and are acquainted with all my ways. For there is not a word on my tongue, but behold, O Lord, you know it altogether. You have hedged me behind and before and laid your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is high, I cannot attain it. Where can I go from your spirit, or where can I flee from your presence? If I ascend into heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, you are there. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there your hand shall lead me, and your right hand shall hold me. If I say, surely the darkness shall fall on me, even the night shall be light about me. Indeed, the darkness shall not hide from you, but the night shines as the day. The darkness and the light are both alike to you. For you formed my inward parts, you covered me in my mother's womb. I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, and that my soul knows very well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in secret, and skillfully wrought in the lowest parts of the earth. Your eyes saw my substance, being yet unformed, and in your book they all were written, the days fashioned for me, when as yet there were none of them. How precious also are your thoughts to me, O God! How great is the sum of them! If I should count them, they would be more in number than the sand. When I awake, I am still with you. O God, you will slay the wicked. Depart from me therefore, you bloodthirsty men, for they speak against you wickedly. Your enemies take your name in vain. Do I not hate them, O Lord, who hate you? And do I not loathe those who rise up against you? I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them my enemies. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts, and see if there is any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting." Close quotes. Psalm 139 is one of the deepest passages in the Bible regarding God's omniscience, omnipresence, and personal love. This passage reveals a God who not only knows all things, but who knows us intimately, personally, and in detail. It is a declaration of how God is completely involved in every aspect of our lives, from before our birth to our last breath. It is on this divine closeness that we will reflect. The psalm begins with the statement, "Lord, you have searched me and known me." This sets the tone for the reflection. God knows everything about us. There is nothing we can hide from him. He knows our actions, thoughts, feelings, and intentions, even before the words reach our lips. This understanding can be both comforting and unsettling. For those who walk with God, knowing that he is completely involved in our lives brings comfort. But for those who try to hide from God, this truth can bring a sense of exposure. In today's world, where many seek to hide or escape their realities, whether through addictions, digital distractions, or even trying to run away from who they are, this passage reminds us that it is impossible to hide from God. He knows every move we make. When we try to escape our true identity or our problems, God is already there, waiting to offer the redemption and love that only he can give. Where can I go from your spirit? Or where can I flee from your presence? It is a rhetorical question that reveals the omnipresence of God. No matter where we try to go, whether we ascend to the heavens or descend into the darkest depths, God is there. This is significant in today's world, when many people feel lonely, disconnected, or lost. This passage reminds us that we are not truly alone, no matter how isolated we may feel. God is present in every circumstance, in the highest places of joy and the deepest valleys of sorrow. Many today struggle with feelings of abandonment, believing that God is distant or indifferent to their pain. Psalm 139 tells us the opposite. God is near, he sees us, knows us, and is always by our side, even in the most difficult and dark situations. If I say, surely the darkness shall fall on me, even the night shall be light about me. Even in darkness, God sees us clearly, for to him darkness is like light. This verse offers us hope, showing that no matter how life may seem shrouded in shadows, God lights our path and guides us out of the darkness. For you formed my inward parts, you covered me in my mother's womb. The image here is of a God who has been with us since the very beginning of our existence. He formed us, intricately made us, and knew us even before we were formed in the womb. This is a powerful reminder that our lives have value, not because the world says so, but because God created us with a purpose. He formed us in a fearfully and wonderfully way. In today's world, where so many struggle with issues of self-esteem, identity, and worth, this passage offers a divine perspective on how precious we are in God's eyes. The phrase, "Your eyes saw my substance, being yet unformed, and in your book, all these things were written," teaches us about God's perfect plan for each of us. Even before we had form, God already knew us completely and had a plan for our lives. This gives us a sense of purpose and destiny, reminding us that we are not accidents or results of chance, but rather part of a divine plan. In the following verses, the psalmist reflects on the vastness of God's thoughts. "How precious are your thoughts to me, O God! How great is the sum of them!" This is an invitation for us as believers to contemplate the depth of the divine mind. Today, when life often feels superficial and distractions abound, we are challenged to seek the profound, to meditate on God's thoughts, and to find comfort in them. God thinks of us in a constant and detailed manner, and this should bring us an invaluable sense of worth. At the end of the psalm, the tone shifts to a request. "Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts." Here, the psalmist asks God to examine him deeply, revealing anything that is wrong within him. In today's world where introspection and self-examination are often ignored, this is a prayer we should bring into our own lives. Asking God to reveal what needs to be transformed in us is an act of humility and courage, as we recognize that we are not perfect and need His constant guidance. Application for today, Psalm 139, is a call to trust in the constant presence and intimate knowledge that God has of our lives. In a world that values privacy, individualism, and independence, this passage reminds us that there is no room for true loneliness or anonymity before God. He sees us completely and loves us despite everything. This psalm is extremely relevant for modern times when many feel lost amid societal expectations or social media. God does not see us as the world sees us. He sees us with eyes of love and purpose, knowing us deeply and personally. This challenges us to abandon the quest for others' approval and turn to God, seeking His direction and knowledge about who we are. It also invites us to stop trying to escape from who we really are or from the circumstances surrounding us. Whether fleeing from our fears, failures, or the challenges we face, Psalm 139 reminds us that God already knows all things, and it is in Him that we find answers, healing, and redemption. Search me, O God. This is a prayer of surrender, acknowledging that only God can reveal what needs to change in our lives. Today, we are bombarded with distractions that pull us away from this introspection, but God calls us to pause and allow Him to reveal what needs to be transformed.